first drill, we're gonna talk about first pull from the ground. So first pull, all we're doing, we're taking the barbell from the ground to the knee position. That would be first pull. So looks like so, right? So when I'm doing my first pull, all I'm gonna do, pull to the knee. That's it. We're gonna talk about, biggest thing I wanna work on is back angle. I wanna maintain my back angle as I pull. You're here to assist? All right, everybody come on out. This is Rebecca Lipsey. If you don't know Rebecca Lipsey, easily the most accomplished weightlifter CrossFit Nashville has ever seen. And she started in my backyard. So, just first pull, she's gonna take it from the ground to the knee position. So from the ground to the knee and up. All right, cool. So here's what we're gonna focus on. Very long, sorry. We're gonna focus on this, back angle. So this is what your two partners are going to do. They're gonna take a PVC pipe and they're gonna put, like they're gonna be on either side. I want you to place pressure on their shoulder without touching their body. I want you to place pressure on the PVC pipe on their hips, okay? You should have equal pressure on the shoulder and the hip. So when she goes down to that mid-shin position, everything raises at the same speed as she comes up, and she has equal pressure across. Common fault here, a lot of people have, is they're going to shoot those hips first. If the hips shoot up first, then what naturally happens is the bar is going to swing away from your body, and we're going to lose a lot of potential power and output that way, okay? First thing, everybody go down to your setup, okay? Go down to your setup. Bar should be over your mid-shin. You should have tension in your posterior, tension in the hamstrings and glutes. All right, so first pull, all we're gonna do, you're pulling up to the knee and then back down, okay? Ready? And down, or up. Let's get on the same page here. Up to the knee, then bring it back down. Up to the knee. Back down. Give them feedback. Partners, if they're shooting their hips early, up to the knee, back down. One more. Up to the knee, back down, and relax. Awesome. Thing one, did anybody find that drill difficult to maintain your position down there where your legs starting to burn, like on fire a little bit? A little bit? So, thing one, that was a PVC pipe. Guess what happens when you're in a workout and your legs are fatigued? Like the same thing's gonna happen too, right? So the same breakdown's gonna happen. So even simple drills like this are easy ways to develop our capacity when I'm not even like, because the answer is always like, oh, if I wanna get better at snatches, I've gotta be lifting heavy weight, and it's like not true at all. The solution to all of your Olympic weightlifting deficiencies are repetitions with lightweight where it looks right. Just remember that. The prescription is not like, oh, just get heavier and heavier and heavier, because your deficiencies become larger and larger and larger, and then you build habits that way. So just don't forget that. That's an easy misconception of like, I've got to get stronger and I've got to lift more to be better at this, and it's just not true. I want to be more technically efficient and faster, and then I'm immediately stronger. So partner two, who's up? Who's up? Next person up, same thing. Against. You're equally driving across both those PVC pipe. Ready? And up to the knee. Bring it back down. Up to the knee. Down. Up to the knee. Down. One more. Up to the knee. Down. And relax. Awesome. Back down. Up to the knee. Back down. Up to the knee, back down. One more up to the knee, back down, and relax. Awesome. I'm at the knee. From the knee, I'm then pulling all the way into hip extension here at the top, okay? Biggest fault most people run into on this one is going from I'm going to the positions here. Going from the knee to the hip, people pull this way, right? They're gonna pull it in as opposed to keeping this load more centered over your body, knees pushing through, and the hips coming through at the top. What we're looking for, vertical lift on the bar, okay? You're gonna see people do snatches a lot of different ways with different successes. Just gonna go by the book as far as the answer here. When I'm going from here to here, I'm not thinking about kettlebell swinging out. I want to go up. always up with the bar. That's the goal. I want force applied upwards, not outwards, especially as the load gets heavier and heavier. It's going to get downward, like there's weight on it. So y'all are pressing down on the bar. We're going to go from this knee position. Y'all are applying just slight pressure. We're going to practice this extension position all the way through, okay? No bend in the arms, and I'm not pulling the bar back into me here, but I am pulling my hips through upright, okay? They're just applying a little bit of pressure, slow and controlled. Make sense? Here we go. Seeing it, I'm already seeing it, and you're already starting this shrug position before we even stood up. So think a little bit slower on this one, and I really want you to sequence it as, all right, so hips, 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 shrug is gonna happen after the hips, okay? So I want your glutes fully engaged before you even begin to shrug. Here we go. Take it down, position at the knee. Here we go, and up, slow, 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 slow. Squeeze, and then elevate. Squeeze your glute, and then elevate. Reset, back down. Ready, and up. Nice, Randall. And reset, back down. Again, you're driving your feet through the floor, not pulling with the arms. Ready, and go. Drive, 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 drive. Upright, elevated. Good. Reset. Some of you, I'm seeing it still. You're still pulling. You're still trying to pull that bar in. Don't pull this way. Your arms are just straps. This weight, let's just pretend like it's super heavy. It only wants to go that direction. You've got to keep it over that midfoot, and that's where the knees are going to push through, the hips are going to come through, and this is what's going to create lift and elevation here. I'm not going to pull a 300-pound barbell into my hip crease and then jump it up. That ain't going to happen. I could do that with 75 pounds and it'll still go up, but if we're talking about getting more efficient, don't pull in, but it's going to hang, it's going to go where it goes, and you're going to have to move around it, if that makes sense. Okay, next person, go ahead, swap it out. So think more about pull your, so you're kind of like very toesy and forward there. Yeah. So it's like you're everything looked good from here to here, but then from here you're like coming this way. So that's where, like, when you clear this knee, you want to push your knees through, and that's going to allow you to maintain more of an upright position that's centered on your foot as opposed to like toesy. Okay, so go to just to the knee here, and then from here, like, slowly go transition like 2 inches over. Now your knees are pushing this way, and then you feel that loading, and now you're more loaded to jump vertically. That's, as I always say, is like you want to jump up at the position that makes the most sense for you, right? And it doesn't make any sense to jump it here. It's gonna go, but then I'm gonna have to like chase it down, right? So. Was that all three? Was the number 3 need to go? Okay, last one. Here we go. Third person. We're putting together part 1, part 2, and then we're going to end with high pull at the top. Sequencing matters. And so again, back angle here, load the hip, drive through the hip here, shrug, elevate, and pull. Secondly here, the pull position, elbows are up and back, okay? And so all I want, like, really slow and as controlled as you can be on this one, I want you to think about your your application of downward force through your feet throughout this whole drill, okay? I don't want you to think about like pulling the bar so much as you're thinking about using the feedback you have to try and drive your body into the ground, okay? So on this one, don't rush it. You're gonna go slow and controlled, pushing your feet through the ground, driving all the way through. Hips are gonna come to full extension first. I have not started my shrug or any pull back at all. Then shoulder blades are gonna engage, elbows pull up and back to here. That's exhausting from head to toe, okay? So these are not gonna be easy. Slow and controlled. Here we go. First one, partner roll, is, again, I want your hips to be your primary drivers, just because that's where most people are gonna go wrong with the snatch, is they're gonna start the pull too early with the arms. They're gonna try and do too much with the arms. So the snatch high pull, you're gonna go to your setup position here. When I say go, high pull. I want you to think about where the weight is centered at, and I want you to keep it from going forward or out, but I want to stay over that mid foot. So just applying all those drills. Snatch, high pull. So again, one more from here, jump, and pull here at the top. Try it. We'll go one at a time here. Partner 2 and 3. If you see something, give them some feedback. Let's do 5 of these, and then we'll rotate. All right, 5 of these. First one, go ahead and take what we talk about is the third pull. This is going to be your transition under, right? So when we take the bar from the ground, first pull here to here, second pull from knee to hip, then that third pull. This is where I'm not pulling the bar over, but I'm pulling my body under. And again, we're gonna do a squat snatch because that's the hardest variation, and that's the one that's going to apply to the other one as well. On a side note, mobility is going to be huge. It's going to be a big determining factor into like how efficient my catch position is going to be. That's for another day completely. So we're not going to harp on like how we fix our overhead position right now, but just know that the better my overhead squat position is, the easier my transition is going to be. If that's a struggle, then we just need to work on that on a separate note. But again, first pull here to here, second pull here to here, third pull, elbows are up and back, and I transition under the bar at the top, or at the bottom. So again, it's not pulling over, but it's pulling my body under. All this drive, I've driven all the way through the ground. The bar is now traveling upwards because I've just jumped. And I've applied as much force as I can here, right? So my legs are much stronger than my arms. I'm not going to be able to somehow like muscle it the rest of the way. So now this is where the speed and efficiency comes in of how quickly I can then transition into that position overhead. So first thing we're going to do is that PVC pipe transition from here under. We call this a snatch balance. We're going to do a slow snatch balance. Footwork on this one is in your squat stance. So all we're going to do, bar on back, we can do this one all together. Just slow and controlled. All I'm doing is pressing straight down, bottom position, and stand. Slow and controlled. Number 2, here we go. We'll do these all together. Slow and controlled, ready, and go. And stand. Nice. Reset. Number 2, ready, and go. And stand. And number 3, ready, and go. And stand. Cool. Let's go ahead and start looking at this now. Extra, and that is footwork. Footwork is always something that you can look at if you want to fix somebody's snatch or their clean and jerk. Watch their feet. If they're not actively driving through the floor, you're going to see it in their footwork, and they're not getting good application of force. The bar is going to be pulling them all over the place, and they're going to be bleeding efficiency every single rep. So if you're not somewhere, find you a seam in the mats here, and I want you to line your toes up with it exactly where it's at. Okay. Now we're going to take the same drill, and we're going to do a snatch balance where I'm going to drop underneath the bar aggressively, right? So if my toes are on that seam, that's exactly where I want them to stay as I transition here. You can jump back a little bit, but if you are jumping forward, then that's going to be a fault that's going to apply later on, right? So your feet should be exactly on the seam, or you can slightly jump back, and that's cool. All right, so here we go. First one, speed on this one. You're going to drop straight there. First one, ready, and go. And reset. Number 2, if your footwork changed at all, then like make sure you reset them back underneath your hips here. And I didn't even say that, but when we do this drill, your feet should be underneath your hips, and then you're going to jump to that squat position and then stand it back up, reset back underneath the hips each time. Here we go. Next one. Ready, and go. And stand. Reset. Ready, and go. And stand. Reset. Last one. Ready, and go. And relax. Awesome. The time on the barbell, we're each going to do 5 with the barbell. Big thing, set up on the seam. Set up on the seam. And again, don't jump forward. You can jump back slightly or keep your feet right there on the seam where it's at. Now we've got some feedback. Staying active is going to be crucial here. Active from head to toe throughout this movement. All right, here we go. First one, snatch, balance. Ready, feet should be underneath your hips. You're going to jump them out to your squat stance. Ready, and go. And stand. Nice. Reset. Number 2. Ready, and go. And stand. Nice. Number 3, reset. Ready, and go. And stand. Reset. Number 4, ready, and go. And stand. And then last one, number 5, ready, and go. And stand and relax. And I promise you, at least, well, multiple people, every time we've done these drills, like 5 reps to the barbell, everybody's like sucking wind a little bit, or you're like exhausted. So again, I can't stress that enough. Getting an empty barbell out and repping these drills and developing your capacity with load, light load, has great application. It's not like sexy in any way, but I promise you it will yield great results if you can develop your capacity that way. You're doing reps correctly with a load, and it will pay off, even though you're like, no, I've just got to lift heavy if I want to get heavier. It's like not the case, I promise. So next person, number 2, here we go, 5 reps. Get your feet set underneath the hips, ready, and go. Stick that landing and stand. Good. Reset. Yeah, check that footwork out. It should be in the exact same spot every single time. Number 2, ready, and go. And stand. Number 3, ready, and go. And stand. Number 4, ready, and go. And stand. And number 5, ready, and go. And stand. Nice, rotate. Number 3. Nice, better, Mike. Reset, ready, and go. And stand. Nice, Kelsey, that looked good. And last one, reset, ready, and go. And stand. Anytime you're working on this stuff, you want to work with manageable loads that you can maintain your positions. And what I would recommend, this is what I've done as well in the past, is when you're trying to fix deficiencies, it's like, okay, I can do it the way I want to do it at 15 pounds. I can do it the way I want to do it at 25. I can do it at 35, at 45, at 55. It starts to get a little sketchy. At 65, it gets worse. And at 75, I can still kind of make it happen, but it's not good in any way. And so you want to find those sweet spots of where I can still maintain things. You want to build, 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 build. Once you hit those weights that you can maintain, like stay there, call it for the day at those weights. And then next time it comes around, if 45 is where it's at, most of the time I would say you'll progress to 55. And then it's like, okay, I can do it good at 55, but then when we get to 65, it gets sketchy again, come back down to 55. Hang out there until 55 feels good into 65, 65 feels good into 75. And again, don't be afraid, and also with Olympic weightlifting, don't be afraid, depending on the day, you don't have to do the same things over and over again. It's like, oh, I always do 95-pound snatches. Do 90-pound snatches, 80-pound snatches. Whatever feels good is where we're going to make improvements. So just never forget that. This is how you guys, for the most part, have all been doing CrossFit a long time, and that is like, that's how you continue to make progress forever, is don't be afraid to pull back so that I can get more efficient, because you can never be efficient enough with all of these things. So don't be afraid to pull back, hang out in the weights that you are really good at, and then next time around, though, you're going to progress a little bit further. Pull back, progress, pull back, progress. Don't pull in your hips.